I'm Jennifer George, the creative director at the Rube Goldberg Institute, and I'm also Rube Goldberg's granddaughter. Rube Goldberg was a Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist who's best known for his invention drawings that, in the most inefficient and ridiculous way possible, do something very simple. Today, the Rube Goldberg Institute uses the legacy of my grandfather and his wacky machines to promote equity and access in STEM and STEAM education. At the Rube Goldberg Institute, we host contests of all kinds. We host the cartoon contest. Then there's the in real life competition, the Rube Goldberg Machine Contest, where every year we announce a task that each machine has to complete. Last year it was Feed a Pet. This year it's Open a Box. So out of all of these competitions, we thought if we're trying to get kids to become part of the machines that they are studying, wouldn't it be great to get the kids' perspective on that? Miracle Recreation and the Rube Goldberg Institute had a vision to bring classroom learning outdoors. Through our partnership, we held the Miracle Recreation Rube Goldberg Playground Challenge, a contest inviting both kids and adults to design a Rube-inspired playground where visitors interact with and become part of the machines themselves. The goal of the contest was to give the entire group of candidates who submitted the opportunity to flex their creative muscle in a super fun, interesting, and kind of relevant way. We want to get them actively thinking creatively about not just the world around them, but about their place in it. And then to give them the opportunity to come to a place like Miracle Recreation, get the tour, see how things are made, see the components and what they're made out of, meet with the designers, have an exciting experience of really a brainstorm session with the creative team here. That is an incredible opportunity, and they're at sort of ground zero of the design of this playground. It's wonderful to have a kid in the room when you're designing for kids. You get to see the sparkle in their eye, when an idea comes to the forefront.
I'm really excited that we were able to have both a younger and a senior division, and that the senior division was able to be a family affair. With seeing what Brian and Griffin were able to create as a family is really cool, and seeing Anika with her creations, and just knowing that there's such a bright young mind willing to get out and create playgrounds, it is very promising to see what the future holds.
Anika handed me an envelope that said thank you, and she brought a jar of sand and shells from California, and she wrote this beautiful poem about how honored she is to have won and to be with us here today at this wonderful day of activities. So it was so inspiring, and it brought a tear to my eye, I have to say.
This is such an amazing honor, and I'm really happy that, I was able to be a part of this process. And so I wrote a bit of a poem. When I think of youth, I think of playing. In the glow of the sun, a hope of staying at those grounds, holding sweet bits of joy, time slipping faster than my hands through each toy. To truly have fun is now quite rare. Back then, I'd just swing, wind in my hair. At the playgrounds, my true brain was born, where I dreamt of worlds far more adorned. These simple worlds of mystery and bliss, I grew up thinking I'd be cursed to miss. But thanks to people of whimsy like you, I get to see my dreams come true.
Oh, isn't that nice? Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Thank you.
Collaborating with the winners is going to look a lot like our standard process. We always describe it as a funnel. The funnel opens up at the beginning, and then we're just kind of spending time narrowing it down. And then we get together and discuss the pros and cons of each concept that's on the wall. I think it's going to be really fun to kind of have some outsiders coming in and seeing the process, asking questions, really experiencing it with us. Just hearing them talk about their ideas, their playground thoughts has really inspired us. So I'm really excited for that.
This is what a project Reef looks like. We talk about the essence of Rube Goldberg here. That Rube wall is really reminiscent of what we did for the project at the time. So you can visit that wall and be inspired by all the Rube Goldberg stuff. And we just start exploring concepts. So it's going to move through the process here pretty quickly. You'll see drawings, models, installations. You'll see animations, of like how we want the play to work so we can communicate that to the engineering team. And that's what's so nice about working here. We are engaged with the teams, so we can see things being built and prototyped, and these all get play tested. And so you can see, like, from a really funny little elephant drawing, which I think we'll probably do a lot of that today, to this. That's how we go. That's how we roll.
As of now, these are just like sketches I had for the Mosey's family idea, and also I was thinking about what else my swing mechanism could lead to, because as of now, the idea is that the swing triggers a prism to rotate and then refract light, making like a rainbow kind of pattern, which is cool for the optics part of physics.
I was inspired in two different ways by Annika's designs. So she had incorporated an upward lift. So I was like, oh, how cool a feeling would it be if the kids worked together and they like were able to use these pulleys to actually lift something that looked like the entire earth above their whole, how strong they would feel holding the weight of that. The second one I was inspired was by her underwater world with the octopus that she had there. It could be a whole play hub itself with different features, such as a staircase going up, one of the tentacles going down, a slide of another tentacle. But the suction cups themselves would be portals. That was actually something that my son inspired me with over here on his collaborative drawing with me, with his different portals. When you go in one way and you come out another, I thought you could do that with light. I thought if the kids looked with a perspective from one angle, they would see one color, and look through another one and see another color, but through the lens of the octopus suction cups. So that's what I was working on.
Knowing that we have two winners who are younger and seeing the enthusiasm that they were able to put into the creations, it's very nice to think that there's that level of thought and knowledge in the younger generation. It'll be great to see what they're able to turn out in the future.
I hope this partnership allows kids to have fun and become curious about how things work. And, if we can do anything good for our kids, we have to get kids out there talking to each other, playing with each other, problem solving with each other. All those qualities make for a great adult.
When you look at the history that Rube Goldberg has with all of the different artwork which he was able to create, there's no limit to all the different pieces that we can put on a playground. We can really make it look truly unique and different from anything else that's on the market.